One afternoon when I went over, I found her sitting in the car because it was unlocked in the driveway. She was looking around in the car for the keys because she wanted to go somewhere.
My car is a '69 Mustang Coupe. Everyone loves it. It's the wow factor. It kind of is unique because it's like a rat rod almost, and they have no idea what's in it. I like doing stuff out of the ordinary. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. My parents won it back in '69, brand new. My mom bought a ticket, put on there Little Red. That was my nickname. There was going to be a drawing for 3 Mustangs. If the person was there, they had 2. 10:30, as the story goes, I became restless and crying, so my parents just took me home. My dad's best friend called, "Franny, where are you at? You just won a car. If you were here, you would have had 2. Been our family ever since. My mom was basically the one that drove it. She wouldn't let my dad drive it. I was allowed to drive it twice in my high school, senior year. One on senior day and once on graduation, that was it. They're good memories. My dad in '84 decided that it was time to stick it away in his garage, and he bought a family car. It was in my parents' garage for, I believe, 5 years. You know, it was getting dinged on, he needed the room. So he said, "It's your car now." It didn't run at the time, so we got up to my house, stuck it on the side of my shed, and just forgot about it.
I went over to his house to repair his snowblower for him. I noticed something shiny behind a fence by his wood pile. I touched the fence, a panel of the fence fell over, and there was the Mustang sitting there.
And at that point, I was just going to just sell it for scrap. I had zero knowledge of hot rodding anything at all. I knew how to change oil, that's about it.
I suggested us to pull it out to at least see what kind of bones it had to see if it was worth doing anything with. After he told me the story, I said, well, we can't let the car go. It is too involved in your family from your childhood up till now. And I think it is very worthy of getting it back on the road in some degree so you can enjoy it again.
Him and I did it for 5 years in our garage, and then my mom was getting a little bit more sicker, so we wanted to get it done for her, so we became the horsepower. She has dementia, and she was good for a while. Over the course of 3 years, she went from stage 2 dementia, now she's at stage 6, which is the last stage. She knows my wife, she does not know me anymore. She sees me, she thinks that she should know me, but she doesn't. While she was still good, the car, we pulled it out. She sees us sit down the driveway and she's, oh, there's my car. And she always watched John and I work on it. She'd ask me what was done today. And I'd break it down for her in the simplest terms that I knew how to do it. And she'd, oh, okay.
One afternoon when I went over, I found her sitting in the car because it was unlocked in the driveway. She was looking around in the car for the keys because she wanted to go somewhere. It made it that much more special to help them kind of reunite with their car again, since it had been hidden and off the road so long.
John got to the point where the engine was in and he attached a plunge starter to it. So we have video of Mom and him in the car, and she was starting for the very first time. And this look on her face was this pure smile, and she yelled, she laughed, she started crying. It's forever gonna be in my mind right there.
For the most part, it was probably an underpowered car. It is a big car for a 6-cylinder to move, let alone if you have people in it. We wound up putting a 302 V8 in with a modern serpentine belt drive. We did an MSD ignition system. We added a Bergeson power steering system in it. We also did power disc brakes on it to make it more reliable. So we did it kind of plain and simple, yet upgraded it enough that it's a lot more fun and reliable to drive. As far as the interior goes, it is still basically stock. We did put a console in it. It's much easier to read and more reliable in the car. When Mike was little, he put 2 stickers on the back of the car. The remnants of the stickers are still here. I told him that was part of the history of the car, regardless of whether you like it or not. And to make sure that they always stay, I had put new Pink Panther and Roadrunner stickers in the car. So they're at least not sticking out like a sore thumb anymore, but they are still there for that memory of the car.
It was on a Saturday, and I was sitting in the garage. right in front of the garage outside. I had a couple beers. The hood of this was exactly like this, and that's what got me thinking. The rest of the car was the blue. I mean, it was pretty good survivor for the paint job. So I thought, what would it look like? So I took a orbital sander and stuck a sandpaper on it. I started sanding the front fender, and I kind of liked it. All right, so then I started doing more and more. And when I got done sanding it, it looked great, but it was the dusty, sandy look. A couple more beers, I thought, well, I have a house conditioner system that is salt brine. So I went downstairs, got another beer, got a bucket of the salt brine, just started pushing all over the car and turning to that. So then, did my research, and Poppy's Patina, they have a DIY clear coat, and you just rub it on, and let it sit and dry, and that's what it is. Yeah, that's how it was. One Saturday over beer is how it became that. I'm so thankful for John to come in my life. You get on into life and you have your house and your family and stuff like that, and it's just, you tend to forget it. And he brought it back in my life. Just go out there and replace one thing a month, one piece every other month. Just get in there, let the memories stir, and she'll get you going, she'll get the juices going. The memories I have, they'll never go away because it's getting into it, sitting and driving it. It's very special.